I imagine as you leave one of them open, that would be pretty bad for the other side. So now, is it going to be a Kalista B1 for Bat? They've had blue side all 3 games, and Bat loves his Kalista, so that's what I imagine is going to come out.
Varus B1, thoughts?
Yeah.
They're going to
play
the
Varus
mobile.
B1.
Yep.
And then what do you pick into it? You must have something prepared to ban away the handshake and the Kalista. So will it be the Ziggs? You know, I'm thinking of the options that you have into it, and a lot of them are banned because of Fearless.
What about a Caitlyn?
Caitlyn's not so great into Varus. Because
No?
the range is matched, and then you have the setup into the Caitlyn when she's pushing. I'm not a big fan of it. Also, if you lane swap into the Caitlyn, isn't that just terrible? So I'm thinking of the options into the Varus. You could go some like scaling and then lane swap away, or you go something like a Ziggs and match the range and just farm. I think those are options. You could go for a Renekton Ziggs draft, which would be very Grub focused, and I'd quite like it for NIP.
Renekton Zyra. Okay, so that's one of the most OP junglers left as well. Shadow, it would just be hilarious.
So I think answers into the Zyra, what we typically see is another AP jungler like Nidalee that comes out. You know, they have the option to match the AP jungles. The problem then is you clear slower. What answer do you have into Renekton? Nars available? You could, so there's the other AP jungler. It's not the Nidalee, but it's going to be the Karthus. That's also an alternative. And then you're going to pinch away options into the Renekton. I think stuff like Gnar, AD answers, because you want Soul AP Karthus, are the best bans. Now, do you pick mid lane here? Is it going to be the Yone? I think that could be a pick away, or you pick away from the support pool, which has been heavily pinched. Alistair could be decent as an answer into the Nautilus. Not going to be that. You're going to pick away
Silas instead.
Double AP. Interesting. I didn't think this was going to be an option because then, you know, you don't have Soul AP Zyra, but they're going to say, you know, it's not a problem. We're going to lock it in anyway, and it's going to be a great champion for Doinby, and now we can also pinch pool in mid lane.
Bro, look at what he can steal as well. Norval Soul, Requiem, you've got Varus. Like, bro, everything looks good here as they start taking away some of the melee matchups. Some of the pairings that can come through. Yone first taken off Alistar. I mean, yeah, I guess Alistar was an option here as it's one of the last engaged supports that hasn't been picked. Pyke?
I'm just curious now. What options do you have in the bot side for NIP? I mean, you can't go Ziggs anymore because you already have double AP, and that'd just be way too much. So you need an AD carry. Caitlyn's up like you're saying. Draven's not so great. Hit me up with what Leave's known for.
Leave is known for things like Ezreal. Leave, Ezreal, Kai'Sa.
Right.
Oh, Kai'Sa against Varus. That's
brutal. That is a brutal lane. So I'm thinking a Braum lane. Oh, but there goes Braum. They're really pinched right now.
They used to be.
Tahm Kench Jinx.
Yeah.
Like, they have to find some kind of AD carry. Caitlyn, Jinx come to mind, but then you're going to have to lane swap away, most likely. I mean, you could do Jinx plus Braum and then lane into it, I suppose. But they need an AD option. It can't be Ziggs. Sivir.
Sivir would be like...
this is actually... I didn't think of this, but Sivir's not bad into Varus. You spell shoot the Qs, you know, it's not so bad. I actually kind of like this as an option,
and you've got a bridge, right? Because you've got such a strong early game top side that bridges you into a massive scaling AD carry threat.
Exactly. I wonder if you're going to lane swap away, but now you need a support pick that goes well with the Sivir. Do you go the Enchanter route? But then you're going to die to every single hook, and that's what I'm worried about. Now, in the mid lane, what do you have as an option into the Silas? Now, the problem is Corki Yone are out, which are your premier picks as AD mids. Does Care just go for the Tristana, which is significantly weaker? It looks like he does.
I was going to say, what if FPX are really cooking? I mean, Varus into Renekton sounds like absolute bum, but I'm just saying.
It's really good for Varus, but they're not going to do that. It's overcooking. No, it's really good. So you have such a strong AD carry pick. You just can't pick. I think now, like...
Now what? Now what? Sorry, go on.
Why do I bother?
Why
do I bother? Are they hovering Taric here on purpose? They're going to go Taric versus this composition? It's like, I'm thinking of anti-engage options. It's not going to be Nico, I don't think. Because it's another, like, significant amount of AP.
Ooh.
It is. It's going to be Nico. Okay, so they're going for the engage option of Nico in the double range lane to secure priority. They are very heavy AP on the side of NIP now.
Yep.
Still, going to be fine. They have a lot of AD options as well.
So everyone out there, quick shout out to you all. This is going to happen on the daily because I want to make sure that you guys are aware. We're going to run ads so you don't get them now. Big shout out to Hannah, who's running production behind the scenes. Her first day of production, and I feel like it's going pretty smoothly. Any of the feedback you've given through stream will be absorbed, taken on, and make the stream even better. All the subs, all the donos that you throw in will be thrown into the LPL Revival to make it bigger and better and the best LPL stream. We will be the best LPL English stream on this platform, on any platform. Believe it, as Naruto would say. Game 3 looks red hot, and we promised you it was going to be red hot. That was my attempt at clapping.
Now,
So yeah,
I'm going to say I do like FPX's draft this time around. I think Ornn's so OP. I mean, we saw BB on it, man. That guy had 6k HP, grass, cookies, and overgrowth are just a disgusting combo. But then you have the best, you know, arguably one of the best compositions in a game 3 with the Zyra secure at this point, like in a fearless draft is kind of crazy. So I'm excited to see what NIP do as well. They have a lot of priority to work with for the Zyra to full clear and, you know, up the pace of the game, secure the grubs and so on. I think NIP, it's on NIP this game to accelerate the early game.
well, I think NIP accelerating early game wasn't a problem in the game that we looked at. We're about to go into Summoner's Rift for the third time here today. Will it be the last is the biggest question, as FPX have struggled to fight once NIP have gotten the ball rolling in both games, really. Last game, there was a good couple of team fights. Shadow played, I think, the engages really well, but outside of that, it kind of went downhill real quick once Doomby got the free fire in the fights. We're back into Summoner's Rift.
Yep.
How about that?
How about that? So, level 1 scouting initially going to come out because I imagine you want to avoid the Nico severe lane. Still.
Doomby got his own Gyro. That's crazy. Oh, good dredge line from Jwei.
You love your Gyos, don't you?
Bro, it's all
You always
the
let them
environment.
happen.
Yeah, because you have to. But bro, when we were in LPL, when I started in 2019, my first bit of advice was like, yo, you gotta let the Gyos happen. It's like, so in Korea, you know, with LCK, the Hana do set, they always let that happen before talking. That's what you gotta do. And I'm out of, like, to be fair, I'm out of practice. And sometimes I yap over the top of it because I forget. But it's like, it's that thing you don't get in the West where it's like, yo, here's the dedicated fan section, you know? And we gotta let them breathe. We gotta do it. You and I gotta, but we'll work on that. We'll work on that, chat. Don't worry. Invade continues, by the way. Ward spots them out. They know they're here. Of course they know they're here, but outside of that, what are the lanes? I mean, dual lane for FPX going topside here versus Renekton. So we do get to see Varus versus Renekton, and you get to tell me why.
Yeah. So, I actually really like what they've done here. They're map splitting and invading with the Karthus into the Zyra, because Zyra outpaces absolutely everyone in the jungle. So what they're doing is they're flexing Karthus' insanely strong level 1, and Sheer is going to soak XP with Bat here. And then once Sheer soaked enough XP to get to level 2 and be able to survive the dives, he could actually TP bot side to catch the waves. You see the crashes already coming out for leave down in bot side with the Severe, and once Sheer gets level 2, he's going to assess, okay, am I safe down in bot side to recall and cover? Or are we going to dive 4-man this Renekton? That's their option. Shanji, he sniffs it out.
Shanji once again, level 1 still here. He wants to steal though, almost. You got to give Shanji credit. He gets some experience off of one of the little goblins that dies, but you know, FPX aren't going to get the dive off. 4 members
it's
now
not
showing
much,
top, and Shanji gives respect.
Yeah, it's not much though, because you know, if you don't have smite, you don't get as much XP. There's the TP coming down to catch the next wave. Now the question is, does NIP, do they match the dive now and bot side? Can they pull it off?
Ornn is level 2. I mean, he's got Q, and what else? Is it Bellows Breath? I'm wondering. Leave takes a turret shot. Boomerang. I mean, it's an Ornn. This is the problem. Everything is missing from NIP as well. So this dive ain't going off with a hoot. It's going off with a bang. And Bashir's way as the searing charge comes through, as the wave is about to be cleared. But ppgod takes a turret shot, so that minion survives.
Yeah, I do feel like that dive was always doomed because he still has a cookie. That entire time, even if he got low, he could cookie up and sustain a lot. The bone plating came up in the middle of the dive as well. And now, Sheer, he's trying to respect the regang, but I don't think they have the damage for it. Severe really doesn't do that much. Shanji?
Do it again. It's tanked up by Jwei. There's good damage, but Shanji's going to be able to walk up and get level 2. Remember, he started slice and dice, so bit of mobility here as we're re-diving, setting it up. The Tangle Barb's in. Sheer buffers. Bellows Breath is out, but eventually it works out. Great juggling from NIP, and first blood is achieved. Flash, Shanji's out.
Yeah, not going to pull off the dive up in topside for FPX. The aftershock actually from Jwei didn't block the tower shot, so the damage was really, really substantial, and they had to drop aggro. But really nice attempt from Sheer on FPX to survive that dive. He's doing his best in the 1v3 scenario. Didn't quite get the knock-up onto the Nico, who ended up tanking. And yeah, he falls despite the cookie advantage. Shadow? Are we going to flash over the wall? They have double flash. Are they just going to send it? No, okay. They were thinking about it. Full sure, by the way. They were looking.
Oh my god. I mean, that's a great ward from Doomby.
Yeah, it is. It is a nice ward. Now they're going to be able to play off of the respawn camp. Since they started there, they know when it's going to respawn, when that camp is going to respawn, when the race are going to be there, and so they take it off cooldown. Shadow, decently accelerated, managing to play, you know, at the same rate of clearing as the Zyra here. ppgod, are they going to count the minions? Care?
Waiting. Tangle Barb still connects, but a good buffer just in the nick of time for Care.
I suppose it never matters when you're out of mana on this Silas. Just going to be a little bit of a, you know, a breath given to Doinby, you know,
True.
just to be able to take a breath. But at the end of the day, he's an out of mana early game Silas, and you're always going to be able to buffer the Tangle Bobs.
A breath to have a breath. That's so
True.
poetic of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really,
I'm
really
good with my
nice.
words, I promise.
you definitely are.
You know, I nearly failed English in school, and now
Yeah,
I speak English for a living.
I can believe that.
Wow, okay.
You nearly failed it, like how? Like year 6 or what?
No. Like when I was 16, and in England we had these exams called GCSEs, and I was very close to failing. It's the kind of exam where you have to write letters and stories and stuff.
Like any exam.
That was terrible. That was just terrible.
But I mean, you grew up speaking English at home. Was it your first language?
It is my first language.
Okay.
It's just hard, man. I don't know.
English is hard. You're right.
I was more of a mathsy dude, you know? Like, speaking was never my strength. And vocabulary.
Yeah, it's funny now that you do it for a living. You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah, the irony's there. We're fighting over Grubs. 15 seconds till they spawn. Lever's now moved mid, gets push, and Zyra around Grubs, one of the fortes of this champion, clears them mega quick. Let's see if Shadow's close to getting level 6 by the time that comes about, because he's just hyper clearing in hopes to get a bit more of his power, so maybe he can contest.
Doinby, he stole Ornalt. Now he's going to run up through the river to Grub fight, because he does have the Ornalt to fight. But, you know, shit, he doesn't have TP either. So is he going to stay? Are they going to give the side of the Grubs up to the side of FPX?
They get a flash out. I mean, for FPX, it's a small win to start us off. Tangle Barbs again, sidestep from Jwei as Care runs back, and Aki just starts it and keeps the aggro.
Sheer isn't coming, so now FPX, ideally, they would have stolen one away, but they're not going to be able to. They're going to have to trade platings down on bot side now, because Sheer can't TP to the fight. He's going to recall, because he's scared potentially of getting all in by Doinby as he makes his way back down to bot side. Wow, no cross-map play available for FPX. I feel like he could have hit that tower, but opts not to.
Nothing in the way. I mean, nothing, as you said, nothing given over to FPX. Level 6 now hit from Shadow, though, is he's going to get some damage onto ppgod. He has a Requiem available. He's running out of mana, though, and the damage on ppgod is sufficient, but maybe not enough to get a kill from the ult, especially with the... I keep thinking it's Fairy Cinders. I keep saying Fairy Charm. It's not a Fairy Charm.
What is the name of the...
the item, the balm...
Burned Ashes or something. Something Ash. Fated Ashes.
Fated Ashes.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know.
We play a lot of AP champs, don't we?
Yeah, dude. Our top lane pool. Let's go through it.
Hey, you think I'm gonna lock a Zyra? Hell no. What?
Dude.
Yeah, I want my big beefy boys.
Eragon plays Volley Bear. That's the only OP. Is nice. Just damage out. His hijack was running out.
Yeah. Use it to clear the wave as well as do some damage. Doinby, I think all he has to do is hit the tower a couple of times, and he gets that plating as well. A nice early game start from NIP, securing those 3 Grubs. And we said, you know, they have the Renekton composition. They can accelerate the early game, even if he's slightly behind, because it's so strong at the level 6 mark at the Grubs. And with the ability for Zyra to farm and get ahead that way, because she outpaces every single jungler, they also have advantage there. So the threat of the silence of the Ornal, a little bit too much, and FPX is going to fall behind in terms of the Grubs. Now, for the next fight, though, they are ideally going to be able to secure one away. Bramblevest picked up for FPX in terms of the Ornn lane, so the 1v1 now, if they do match into the Renekton, which is ideal, it's going to be a little bit harder to pressure him.
Do you feel like when you play Sivir, like if you've ever played Sivir, do you feel like you're on
Sivir,
holiday?
Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Is it because you play the pool party skin or what?
No. You're on holiday because you just farm. All you need to do is hit waves. If anyone goes to fight, you go, I'm not strong enough yet.
I mean, you can. But when I mained AD carry, I was more of a Draven main, you know?
Oh, yeah, of course you were. I'm like a Kai'Sa player, Kai'Sa Zaya.
No, I'm a big Draven player because I like fighting early, you know? It's same with Renekton top lane. I have my style and I stick to it. I'm a big fan of it. Oh, look top side, by the way. Is the dive going out into Sheer? I think he's too tanky versus double AP. He's crafting null magic mantle so that he can't be dove. So he has some MR versus the Silas Zyra.
Oh, ultis to get the wave out of the way. It won't fully clear it, but with a Bellows Breath it should do. Doinby gets some damage down, but yeah, the wave's just gone. Shanji ultis preeminently as well. It's just it's a rinse and repeat on both sides of the map. Oh my. You can't dive either of these guys.
Yeah. I mean, Tabai's completed as well for Renekton and Shanji here. Top laners are really taking it this game. Ping's coming down again on top side, so they're going to redive, and I think, yeah, Sheer, back in after respecting the... I think he can survive, you know? Sheer, he's underestimating how tanky he is, but maybe he's scared of Sevir's AD damage as well. Shanji, he's not backing off, though.
You get him under turret as well. It's a flash from Shanji. Jwei's in trouble, but last turret shot doesn't finish him off. And Care buffers out. Good dive in the end. Good juggling from FPX. They make it work.
I mean, okay, so Shanji played that really well. He stuns onto the Nautilus. I mean, Shadow's
dead.
as well now.
Oh, whoa.
But yeah, it's a nice bit of juggling. Jwei managed to live on 1 HP there. That was a nice dive, but the difference was Sheer backed off, didn't give a kill, and Shanji tried to play to wave clear the wave and survive the dive. Unfortunately, not going to trade 1-for-1, but full tower given over to NIP now.
And Leave getting that gold as well. I mean, this is a valuable trade. You might get the kill, but first turret, plus the fact you're already building up feet, is pretty nice. Once again, good early game from NIP. 1k gold lead at 10-minute mark.
Yeah, and now, you know, Shanji, he's set far behind, and this Renekton from far behind, his next point of call is going to be, you know, we've got to contest these grubs, spawning in 15 seconds time. He doesn't have TP to help secure them, so he's going to have to run up now after securing this plating that dies to the minions. And Care, his TP will be up as the grubs get started. So now I want to see FPX secure 1 grub at least. Deny the feet, just try and get a smite onto 1 singular grub, but that's going to mean they need mid lane prio, and they're going to walk all together through the mid lane right now. You can see Bat and Shadow going together, going to get mid push and then run into the river. Are they giving it up? They're conceding.
Yeah.
Oh man, no TPs available for FPX.
Early, like, is it just because Karthus is just not a champion early, or what?
He gets outpaced. Renekton's a superior champion to so many different ones. He's not even there, so maybe just the threat of Doomby skirmishing as well and the accelerated Zyra. Yeah, that is brutal. I think also, because of all the skirmishes that have been lost, having no TPs for these grubs are making it really difficult for FPX to play. They would have to drop bot waves and then just run straight to the grubs, and they decided, you know what, it's not worth it.
But even now, I mean, I'm wondering, do NIP look for the fight after that? Maybe not. Okay, Arky's back away. That kind of answers that question, and he's gone back to pick up his Leandri, so the dragon is the trade in the end. But as we said, you know, there's going to be a lot of action from NIP that they want to keep forcing. And you know what the problem is? Siv's already got a first item, and Leave just always has mid lane priority.
Yeah, the push is just crazy right now. You have the Bork in these all-in fights, but Bat, he's just not finding them. He needs the CC from his team to be able to auto-attack consistently. Play coming down from FPX into the side lane now. Shanji.
Oh, ulti up.
No dash.
Gets buffered out. Dredge line's good, though. They go straight on to Shanji. He heals up. He buys some time for the wild growth. Sets up for Doomby to maybe go in. But right into a Nautilus. He holds out for now. The Protobelt in onto Shadow. He absconds. He abducts. He chain lashes. Sets up. Thanks to Zyra. He's looking to heal and get some damage down before he dies. But with the Tangle Barbs now on in, NIP won't trade any further than that. Care ulti's out, but the Requiem was not used. Shadow just doesn't ult in the end, so ppgod survives.
You know, I think there might have been a misclick from Shanji with the double E input. That dash was very fast when it wasn't needed. And Shanji, he gets stuck in no man's land, taking a lot of damage without the ability to dash outwards. So I think Shanji, a little bit of input.
Okay, but he's back.
Oh,
he's
here it
back.
comes.
No! Oh! Is he burning? He's got
burn
Blackfire Torch.
Is it a Blackfire Torch?
9. It's like 15 HP.
Yeah, that was close. Oh, look at topside. The TP coming from Doomby. He's going to the long chase from Renekton, Shanji onto Sheer. I think there's going to be a gank.
Trouble.
Oh, no.
I'm waiting for the ulti to be taken as well. Doomby, Hex, Protobelt, and might not have the Kingslayer. Rather, the hijack. 10 seconds on the cooldown. Sheer gets out with Flash.
Yeah, Flash down for the Ornn now. It's going to be hard to face check because he is like going to be the primary face checker alongside the Nautilus' Aftershock. So nice side lane play. Again, Doomby with a proactive TP, finding the Flash in side lane again. Then what you can do is also bail Shanji out of that lane, send him down bot side after getting a recall as well. Aki, in the meantime, going to be able to try and contest these raids. It's just map dominance from NIP. It's nicely played.
It doesn't matter what comp it is. I mean, again, their map state's always kind of good, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, you said the criticism was like, it wasn't technically a macro team. It doesn't feel like a really heavy macro team. It feels like their calls are good. But I feel like part of their calls come from how they play the map, whether it's early, mid, or late.
In the mid game especially. Like, I really, really like their mid game shot calling. Their ability to decide when to fight and how to pull off the fights is great. Not necessarily micro in terms of their clicks, you know, despite Leave being like really, really good. It's just their snap decision making to use spells when and where. Like that TP just there in the side lane, or probably the best Ryzel I've ever seen in the last game. You know?
Yeah.
I think their snap decision making in that regard, in regards to their fights, is fantastic.
Well, Care as he teleports to top, you got to ask yourself about this decision because FPX looks like they're going to trade sides of the map again. Threatening to push up. Care is wondering, okay, where's this Zyra? Where's Doomby? He's going to risk it now for Demolish. With
The
Shadow
problem is,
behind
though,
him.
if your FPX is, you're always on a timer because Renekton has Demolish and 6 Grubs. So they recognize this and they're sending Ornn down to bot side, but not before. Okay, no, not quite any Demolish, but not before getting the crash off, and you're going to bleed some minions. And if he like took any more time, you know, that's instant 400 damage to the turret every single time. So, yeah, the side lanes, FPX don't have that much time to work with because of the Grubs.
I think the only thing right now that FPX are happy about in this game is the fact that there's a 1700 gold lead through Care and mid on this Tristana. I mean, he's got a massive CS lead over Doumbé, but I mean, with how the game started, was it a mismatch lane? I'm trying to remember. Care get attention through mid, or just the
so
lane itself?
it was repeat dives onto top laners. And
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a full lane swap for the majority of the first 10 minutes. No flash on Ornn here, by the way. It was popped earlier on.
He doesn't die here without a first item. Well, he might with Aki. Slice and dice. I'm waiting. Bellows Breath timed nicely. There's a stun. There's a wild growth. Oh my god, the power of Zyra. Shanji gobbles that one up.
Yeah. You see the power of the duo. Zyra and Renekton. Stun from Renekton into guaranteed spells of Zyra with the skill shots. That's why you love setup with the Zyra at Doumbé.
Might be in trouble. Chains of Corruption comes out. Dredge line flashed away from.
Ah, that was so nice because the you know, the instincts for any player is going to be to potentially send the Varasalt to the Nautilus and then flash towards tower. That's what I was thinking he would do. But instead he fires at the AD carry from at the bat and flashes downwards away from tower. It's just so nicely played. I love his decision-making in his micro. Really, really nice.
I mean, for the team as well, as he flashes down and they hover down, they give pressure to lead to push that turret. Mid TP going to come through. Dredge line actually made, and Doumbé's there. Pop Blossom knocked away. Care, that was great. It would have been so much worse, but now it's only a 1-for-1 trade. That's all she wrote. I mean, Care saved that fight.
Yeah, Ping's coming down for the Rift Herald now as well. As a consequence to that, will Severe try and contest? I mean, they have no Care ultimate, but they do have the Requiem if they want to pull the trigger as well. Or not might be a bit too much of a dissuader, you know? So I think that fight, it was phenomenally played. I love the knockback onto the Nico ult. Doumbé gets hooked after his dash. It was a great predict from Jwei, unless Jwei was aiming at someone else, and I didn't quite see. We'd have to see the replay for that, but if it was a predict, it was super clean. So take a look at this replay, right? The hook comes out onto Aki, I think. Yeah, but Aki flashes away and Doumbé dashes forward. So it just happens to hit the Sylas. The knockback from Care is super nice as well. And then in the end, it's a 1-for-1 for support. FPX kind of outplayed them there. Super nice.
Yeah, they did. They did. I mean, again, Care keeps benefiting off it. And the only difference is the fact that as we come back to live, Dragon started from NIP. They've still got mid-pro. That's the difference. Leave continuously now with 2 items. Always has this push. And NIP playing so well off of it. Now getting the third and final objective. Beats the strength now locked in.
TP was available, and TP available for Sylas too.
They're all in on him. Leave is just stuck. He's going to die. Requiem's going to come down. He tries to get some damage down barriers, but eventually drops. Teleport in the middle.
No.
Doumbé might be running it here. What the wild growth. I'd say it'd be great if they had any follow-up, but now it's all dead. Flash over from Care, right into Fog of War, almost dies himself. An auto, a burn. Ooh. Yes, the plants help out, but at the end of the day, FPX are the ones who absolutely barnied NIP.
Finding the pick on the Leave was absolutely crazy there. Damage onto the tower, the 2-man ulti.
Can they 2v4? My thought is no. Shanji's going to go in anyway, do some Renekton things. I mean, if he gets another Q, yes, but there's still enough damage from Shadow, and that's a long-term ace.
Huh.
Holy.
Well, Leave gets picked off initially, and that's how the play starts, right? He flashes downwards, but then gets run down by the auto attacks of Care, so it was a nice decisive fight start from FPX, a great trigger pull. So the fight starts here, right? They do the dragon, and they walk upwards. But Sylas, Doumbé, I think for once, making a mistake on his part, not walking up. For sure, Leave shouldn't be there in the first place. But Sylas needs to be here if they're ever going to walk up anyway. So Leave, he gets run down now. The Requiem's here. And unfortunately for Doumbé, he's left on his lonesome. TP takes too long. Maybe muscle memory, thinking he can TP a bit faster. Aki gets a massive ultimate, but there's no DPS from an AD carry or anything like this. They utilize the bushes nicely. And there's going to be the Proto Belt damage alongside the Leandries that finishes off Care and an auto attack.
I love that NIP here. Just like they're just going to keep going.
What is this? Yeah, I mean...
This is goated.
I mean, I think it's a fundamentally bad decision.
Of course.
2v4. They have low health loss, sure, but you only have a limited amount of spells. Nice shutdown plus 562 onto Shanji. Wait a minute.
Good ulti from Care again, but 4 members are on top of him. Tangle Barbs connects this time, and Care's dead. We come back to live. Inner turret bot is dead, and now there's threat. on the inhibitor down in bot. I mean, FPX have to make a decision. Or maybe
it's so
NIP
frustrating because FPX, they're early games, and they do great things. Their early games are decent, but then they just throw it all away with getting picked in side lanes or like having a shoddy fight. That tier 2 tower, that's a bunch of gold. A shutdown to care, that's also huge. And now, once again, it's another way that, you know, NIP can get back into the game. That tower, it's not going to do anything for Care. They can just walk up and attack it because it's on 1 HP. Care overestimating the usefulness. A nice flank from ppgod means that Care falls. And again, how much gold is this?
ppgod's been playing Nico real well this game.
Yeah.
Really good setup. So, NIP, yeah, they're still in a commanding spot. Again, now that Care shared some of the gold, it's just spread to the realms of where NIP need it most. That's Sivir in a very good spot as well, even though not picking up kills. Leave is just absorbing every lane of CS in this game. As Dragon now spawns. Well, no, not Dragon. What's spawning? No, it's just a kill. Eragon spawned, and that's why they're bot.
Okay, so the thing is, right, why is my Karthus without flash in the river face checking? This is so illegal. It's so hard to pilot Karthus in the river without flash. It should be Northless and Ornn face checking every single time into this banana bush in the river. But now, your Karthus is dead and you cannot play the game. If you need to ult preemptively, then do that. Shadow completely greased it for his team and face checks himself. Now, look at topside. They're bleeding the tier 2 as well. Atakan not going to be picked up, but because they pull the whole of FPX to this Atakan, they can hit the tower up in topside.
Yep. Atakan resets to keep buying the same amount of time. Paris leaving. I mean, Bat's walking the other direction. And carries anyone left here. They also get control of mid once again. I mean, these waves are a real problem that FPX just can't catch up with.
Yeah, and again, I can't get over that mistake. That's such a fundamentally bad error from Shadow. You cannot face check in river without flash as an immobile Karthus. It has to be someone else, like an Aftershock, user, or a tank. Unfortunately, he gets picked off of that, and that feels like, you know, the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's going to be a little bit rough now. I imagine, you know, with the 4-in-1 Zyra, with 2.5 items, that Banshees, I love that Banshees pickup as well. They could feel comfortable starting up the Atakan, especially with that top lane pressure they have with Doomby and that TP.
Or they just start up the third dragon of the game anyway, because 35 seconds that spawns. You got a balance of objectives. Now, good news for FPX is that Care is able to push sides, and he gets access to this turret, more gold in their back pocket, where gold is relatively close in this game. NMP lead by about 3,000, but, you know, FPX still, they have an Infinity Edge Tristana. They have a 2-item Varus as well. They're not at the worst point.
Mid lane Prior going to come in for leave here. I mean, he's a bit scared to walk up and auto the wave, so the Ricochet isn't going to be there. Jwei going to position and maintain control of this. The Battle of the Pink Wards is going to go in the favor of FPX, but look at top. That pressure is crazy. And the fact that Sheer can't walk up means his teleport's always going to be late. Now, Doomby has learned the error of his ways. He's going to recall early and teleport in early. So he's not going to teleport in late and have a 10-second channel time. There it is. And they're going to be on the fight, in position, ready to poke.
Oh, yeah, the TP also comes to call the Forge God. So Doomby has a big ulti as teleport from FPX. They're going to bring Sheer right into the fray as well. Now that Ornn's here, it's going to be call for the call as first one out from Doomby. Lines up, hits 2. It's Bellows Breath in the end. Pop Blossom hits nothing. It's a good fight for FPX, I would say, unless the Strangle Barbs didn't find the backline access. Requiem's in there as well, and FPX have got a depth charge onto Shanji, but he's a beefy boy. 4 versus 3, and NIP missed everything there, so FPX had the charge.
Yeah, FPX with the insane reaction times. Everyone flashes away from all the chain CC that could have happened from Aki. And in the end, there's just no DPS. Leave once again gets picked by the chain knockouts from Jwei and Sheer. And it's an excellent pick, so now the DPS is gone for NIP. Can they make the fight work 3 versus 4?
As Doomby clears out the ward, he's just buying time. It looks like the time for Leave and ppgod to come back in alive. The support will be there. Shadow will be back in 5 seconds. Remember, they have no smite here versus NIP having Aki. So
3 versus 4.
Gone.
They're going to secure Dragon? I guess maybe Bat is a little bit too scared to DPS and fight versus Shanji's potential flash onto him. Wow, securing a 3v4 is massive for the side of NIP. I thought they'd lose that there, but look at this replay. So the TPs are here in the early game, and it looks decent. I love this buffer because it's around the wall, and then there's no chain auto-attack Jwei. Now he has no Aftershock. The engage comes through. All the flashes come out, despite the flash forward from ppgod. And now, how does Leave die? That is my question. He just dies.
Forever.
Too much damage. Yeah. From Care, he just gets DPS by Care. And now, I think they're just scared of Shanji at this point. Shanji's the one with all the tools. There's no Zyra ulti, and Flash W from Renekton can be a menace. So they give it up. FPX, a little bit too scared.
Norton, though, face checking here. Jwei might be in trouble. Depth charge going to command onto him as Chains of Corruption also lands. Into the front line, ppgod's in trouble yet again, but Care can't get the same access as last time. Tangle Barb's close. Flash from Shanji we're looking at. He's deep into the back line, doing Renekton things, unholy as ever, as Shanji now between two turrets is going to drop in the end. But look, top laner on the other side. FPX lose share. And once again, Eragon is on the menu.
Yeah, they're going to turn right to the Eragon. They have a lot of damage with the Zyra percentage health damage and just the amount of damage she does to neutral objectives, as well as the AD carry. And again, a very big overextension from Shanji with a double dash forward, but he was absolutely massive. He did not expend his flash at that dragon fight like everyone else, so he gets a dash in. A punish onto Jwei here, thinks he's a bit more tanky than he is. The Aftershock not going to come out. Look at all the damage that's done to Jwei without him proccing Aftershock. That's why he almost dies. And then the counter engage comes through, but it doesn't matter. At this point, watch the Renekton that comes flying in with the TP afterwards. Care is super chunked, and there's going to be a double dash flash forward with the W. And yeah, geez, how do you manage this? Care falls, I believe, or at the very least he gets knocked away and he gets all the attention from Shanji. Yeah, and that should be Eragon. There's the revive. I don't know what that means, my guy.
It's the music. Can't you hear it? It's the end game music. No, it's Eragon's music is just. No, I think it's Demacia or Noxus or whatever the hell's going on. I don't know.
Do you think that when they introduce new types of maps, we're going to get a different boss that isn't Eragon? Because Eragon is Noxus, right? So do you think we'll get like we'll get a Shuriman boss?
So, like, Sejuani? Like Sejuani?
A Shuriman boss is Sejuani. Did you just say that?
No. I'm not saying Shurima. I'm saying Ice one. Yeah, Freljord.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a Freljord boss with, like, I don't know, some kind of Watcher from the lore as the boss instead of Eragon. But look at this. Baron started up. They have so much DPS. I don't think FPX... They need to check. Are they going to cart this off for DPS whilst they're doing it? Baron does shred MR. They're giving Nash!
Just gone. They're giving Nash!
They're giving Nash. I think they're just giving Nash the cross map onto the tier 2. Too scared of the revives, but they got to play it somehow. I think this was too much. You're over-respecting the revives.
Won't you lose tier 2 as well?
I think they might do in the mid lane.
Look at the like 6 grub damage. Yo, that was the worst trade deal I've seen.
I think they had to pull the trigger, like ulti on Karthus versus the MR shred of Nash, and maybe you can find a fight afterwards. But if you give this, it's just way too much. And now you have Eragon plus Nash. It has no counterplay. You could just fully send it because you can't wave clear the minions. You can completely ignore the side of FPX.
Yeah. So do it again. Call the Forge God going to be used. That's do and beat. He just angles down. Pop Blossom hits this time, and you know Shadow's dead again. He was first into the fray, first up. Again, this Karthus. I mean, he's not having a good time.
Yeah, and now you can just. The waves are perfectly timed to come in topside as well. NIP, they can just knock on the door of FPX's base and maybe end here. Honestly, they have the revives and Nash. I'm telling you, this combo has no counterplay. Are they going to continue to go? Or are they going to back off? Maybe the revives are actually expiring. They have expired, so they're going to back off. If they still had Eragon revive, that could have been a game end. So instead, they're going to go for Soul Point down in bot side, and after taking the super minions and the inhibitor up in top side.
We'll just wait for the end. Because NIP have done it again. I mean, it just feels like a team diff, feels like a hands diff.
It doesn't matter what game state they're in the mid game. You know, they come into the mid game and they just win. Pick on the Care.
That was, I guess, an old thinking.
Why do we have to praise NIP and then they do this? Is that a?
I don't know. He doesn't care. I mean, Arki's ult. The cooldown's not that bad, is it?
I mean, you can watch the ticker on the right.
It's literally a quarter already down.
Yeah. Almost a quarter now. Yeah, I mean, it'll be up for the dragon fight at the very least. And it doesn't even matter anyway. I think Shanji's going to go up topside, deny any potential cross map from the Tristana onto the towers. And it feels like FPX, after the first 2 losses, they just lost all fight in them. They gave up all the grubs, never contested. They gave up the Nasher. And now, I feel like they're just going to give up the game.
Pretty much. I mean, Chain Lash is good. Dude, Shadow almost dies from the poke. So he'll go back to base. He has an ulti, sure, but it's called the Forge God now comes through from Sheer. The real one finds only one. He's tangled up. He's serious out. There's a teleport in from Shanji. 5 members now down here. Baron pushing all in. I guess they're going to go Dragon for some reason. NIP don't feel confident that they can just push an end.
And as an exit objective, you take absolutely everything along the way. No global red buff for the side of FPX. When you're playing a double AD carry comp, that matters, right? And then on the other side, you take the dragon on respawn. Look at all the super minions on the map, man. That is so terrifying.
Yeah.
And again, it feels like another checkmate scenario for FPX. How do you do this? You have to try and pull the trigger versus NIP. Otherwise, you're just going to bleed out.
And just a heads up for most people out there, FPX, if they go 0-2, they're probably going to be eliminated until like March or April. Like this is a problem around the world where, because we're in February and first stand is happening in March, when teams get eliminated from this split early on, like in their groups, when they've played 2 best-of-5s, they're done for like 2 months. So, like, I don't know what FPX.
It will be an 0-7 moment for FPX, definitely. Yeah. If they lose this game right here, I mean, it's going to be a toughie. If they want to win this, they have to pull the trigger now, right before the super minions come in. They don't have to wave clear. They don't have a severe on their team. They just have to engage.
They didn't count the minions, and they're going to get tangled forward as well. A flash away from FPX to disengage. ppgod takes the chain, but you can see now Doomby with a depth charge of his own as Shanji flashes backline is Renekton. A bit unholy, but I think it did the work. It opened up NIP to be right here, standing in front of the Nexus for a 3-0. One of the best teams in the LPL right now. Yes, they're messy. Yes, they're bloody, but they're great to watch and fearless. A 2-0 start for Doomby's return. NIP looking hot.
It's massive. I mean, they just cannot end. The ricochet damage coming out from Leave in that last fight was absolutely mental, bouncing between the backline. Shanji absolutely sends it too. NIP is full of laughs. Look at them. Man, that looks like a fun team to play on.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I feel like NIP are one of the craziest teams we have, you know?
Yeah, I think definitely could shore up some things in the early game. I think their lane swaps could use some work. Getting out lane swapped a little bit FPS, but their mid-game decision-making, man, is pretty good. It is pretty good. I love their team fighting as well.
True. I mean, Doomby brings energy to the team. I don't know how this team changed so much, but he just came in and suddenly
he's got an aura, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he just has an aura.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I feel like he's got a lot of aura. We're gonna wait for MVP and then we'll wrap it up as normal. He needs to change the color of his hair. I love the color of his hair.
So? It was white before, right? Was it pink?
No,
it's kind of lilac.
He's changed it. He's always changed it.
Yeah. But like the one I remember was like it was kind of lilac-y. Same with
lilac.
Who's the player? Milky Way. Yo, bring back Whitehead Milky Way. That's goated.
Bro.
Hey, you know what, Jake? You should dye your hair white.
I'm not dyeing my hair white. I'm not dyeing my hair white at all. That's not happening.
How are you gonna prove you're a fan of Doomby, man?
I mean, I don't need to dye my hair white. I'm not like, I can't get the color back. You know, the problem is, if I dye my hair white, then I have to re-dye. Then I have to let it go back to its normal color, and I'm just gonna ruin my hair. I've been told that bleaching your hair is like super dangerous.
It is bad. It kills your hair and it makes it feel terrible. Trust me, I've tried. I tried to dye my hair silver and I ended up with blonde hair. That was terrible. So don't do that. Don't do it me from when I was 18. Awful idea.
Yo, Aki's getting MVP, man. I think Zyra's just so broken. I think no one's talking about it enough. Zyra's just mega broken.
I think the fact that they secured Zyra on game 3 when it's a game 1 draft is crazy, by the way. I feel like it should have been a blue side ban. Drop whatever you did ban. Stop fishing for Rumble with the Galio ban. And instead, you know, ban the Zyra. Also, they banned Varus and then they banned Kalista, I would believe. And then they took the Varus themselves and they got answered instantly. So, ooh, their B1 wasn't so good. And they gave over the Zyra composition.
And while we wait for MVP, just a bit of like cleaning, some updating. Our giveaway's already been drawn. We'll have the results on Twitter. We did it earlier in the VOD. If you want to go check it out, just before Game 3 started. I can't remember the name of the person who.
I can't remember. I'm trying to remember. It was from Panama Beach. Panama Beach.
Panama.
Yeah, I might be misremembering.
Panama Beach.
American one.
Yeah.
Congratulations, big clappy.
Yeah, we'll announce it on our socials as well, and we'll let you know where to go after we pick up MVP. It's been a new format, chat. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know there's been some issues, but we'll be working on it as best we can. But yeah, all I can say is like, I'm very thirsty.
Thank you for that, Jake. You know, I always appreciate your insights. I always appreciate your insights.
I'm
That's
full
good.
of insights.
Uh-huh.
That's just who I am.